Welcome back everyone, it's Eric from Barone here today. Of course, we are kicking off our very first testing rounds entry for the new team up set. So of course, if you guys are unfamiliar with that testing round series we do here on the channel, we take a look at some upcoming decks featuring some kind of early unrefined lists, and we start testing them out to see what might have potential for competitive play. So in this entry, we're going to be taking a look at two new decks from the set. We have Ampharos GX and the new Charizard as well. So here in this video, I'm actually going to be, on the left, I'm going to be playing the new Ampharos GX. And then over on the right, we have Haley Brokaw, who is a local player from my area. She was nice enough to help me record this video for you guys. And here we're just getting set up. It looks like I did take a mulligan. Looks like I am going to take another one there. Just trying to find myself a basic. I believe that hand actually looked kind of decent. If I just had a starting Pokemon, would have been okay. I had that Elm there, which would have been great. Ooh, unfortunately this hand is not nearly as good as that mulligan hand was. Just a Lele start with no supporters. That feels pretty bad. So I have to see how this is going to unfold. Do get to go first, which is nice. Do have an Ultra Ball as well, so here I'm going to get rid of that Electropower and a Lightning Energy. Electropower, normally a card you'd want to hang on to, but luckily with this deck, Ampharos GX actually has a pretty strong first attack that can retrieve those from the discard piles. It's kind of safe to put those down. So here, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to go for a Lily. I normally would want to go for a Professor Elm's Lecture, but I don't really have any way to draw cards next turn, so I really just have to go all in with this Lily and hope I hit some basics here. And that is similarly a pretty bad start. No basics in sight, not even a Vulpix or a Mareep, so that is definitely a pretty bad first turn for this deck. Luckily I did get to go first, so I am at least a turn ahead of Haley here. But here she is going to go for an Ultra Ball, discarding a Fire Energy. We'll have to see what else she's going to get rid of here. I'd imagine she's probably going to be looking for a Charmander if I just had to guess. So it looks like she is going to get rid of two Fire Energies here. So more likely she's trying to grab a Pokemon out of her deck to, thin some cards out before using this Jirachi. So Jirachi is a pretty powerful new card that we're getting in Team Up. Has this ability, get a look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put a trainer card you find there into your hand, then shuffle your deck, and Jirachi is asleep. So she's going to try to do this, no doubt, to increase her odds of hitting a turn 1 Professor Elm's Lecture. And here it looks like she's kind of taking a peek through her deck, seeing what all is prized, and things of that nature as well. But here, like I said, she is going to go for the Charmander and just shuffle up. And she definitely, I'm sure, has her fingers crossed to hit that Professor Elm's Lecture here off this Jirachi. Worst case scenario, though, she does have Cynthia in hand for next turn. So let's see what she's going to get here. And she does find Professor Elm's Lecture. That's actually really nice. You can really see this Jirachi coming in handy here. So here she is going to, looks like, attach Fire Energy to this Charmander, and then just play that Elm's Lecture and start getting some more basics to get set up. So in this Charizard deck right now, I believe there is, of course the Charizard line, but there's also a Pidgeotto line. So it looks like Haley is going to be grabbing some of those pieces. She has the Pidgey. She's probably just thinking, does she want to go for Pidgeotto or does she want to go for a different basic? Because Pidgeotto is actually searchable by Elm since it has 60 HP. Yeah, and here you can see she is just going to go for the Pidgeotto, trying to set up herself to have a powerful second turn. So just trying to think what I do here. I'm just going to go for this Volkner. I really just need to guarantee myself a basic here. So I could play the, I think I have an Erica in hand and stuff like that, but I really just need to guarantee a Mareep this turn. And that coin flip, that was for the sleep in between turns for that Jirachi. So here I'm going to discard a Flaffy and a Cynthia, it appears. That seems like a good idea. Have two other draw supporters still in hand. So just going to go for this Mareep and really just have to hope Haley does not have a way to take this thing out on the next turn. That would actually be pretty bad. So just going to get down a Lightning Energy onto this Mareep, and we'll probably see a pass after that. Yeah. So no doubt Haley is going to be looking for a way to get Rare Candy Charizard and a Guzma, because if she can knock out this Mareep, she has to be in a good spot to, I think, actually just win the game from there, because she can take back-to-back knockouts on these Leles, no problem with Charizard as well. So here, Haley's probably just thinking, does she want to go for the Cynthia, or does she want to actually try to dig and hit the Guzma? Because if she can do that, then she'd be in a good spot here. So she is going to go for the ability on Charizard, okay? That's what it looks like she's getting ready to do here. And so Charizard, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, has an ability you put 2 damage counters on and search your deck for 2 fire energies and attach it to Charizard. So really nice. Has a lot of synergy with its attack because its attack, you discard all fire energy attached to it, and the attack does 30 plus 50 more for each discarded. So you can obviously see the synergy here. You know, just slap down a bunch of energy on this Charizard, try to take big one-hit knockouts here. So she is going to get down that energy, probably just trying to thin some cards out of her deck if she is going to go for the Guzma. Okay, that looks like what she's doing since she's digging here with this Pidgeotto instead of just playing the Cynthia. And if she can hit it, like I said, I think that would be a really big turn of events here. So let's see what she's going to keep here. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar, Pidgeotto has an ability. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Keep one, put the other on the bottom. And I see some spores. I can't tell if they're Guzmas, though. And I think I see a Heat Factory. She could actually keep on digging if she has a fire energy in hand. So it looks like she is going to go for the Heat Factory here. So it looks like she's going to just shuffle up after that Jirachi. And can she find Guzma? Well, does she have a fire energy in hand? That's the big question, because otherwise she's just going to be forced to play a Cynthia instead. So, actually I don't see a fire energy, so we might just have to see a Cynthia here. Okay, yeah, so she's just kind of Cynthia, and I had to be like super excited about this. I remember kind of thinking like, yeah, do I just scoop if she gets Guzma? It's like almost game over at that point, even though that sounds weird since the game is so early at this point. But yeah, definitely happy she whipped there. Hopefully we can at least have a game here. Okay, she does find herself another Charmander here. Does have a fire energy to use Heat Factory Prism Star, so it's going to let her discard a fire from her hand and draw 3 cards. And yeah, she has a pretty good hand here for next turn. She does try to evolve that Charizard a little preemptively, but she does have to remember she did just evolve into Charmeleon this turn. So here looks like she's debating attaching to Charmander. Ooh, and she actually found the escape board. That's really big here because Jirachi normally wouldn't be able to retreat, but thanks to escape board, it can actually retreat for free. And here she is still thinking about attaching to that Charmander, just trying to get down some attachments ahead of time, because if we just run through the math on Charizard's attacks with 3 energy and a choice band, you're only doing 210, so if she can get herself down, like if she can keep an extra energy in play at all times, she basically is always kind of threatening the one-hit knockout on an Ampharos. So I definitely like putting the energy on Charmander here. It seems pretty good. And here she's just going to take a knockout on this Tapu Lele with Charizard. And here I do find Ampharos, so I can start maybe putting on some pressure here. And I'm just going to use Erica's Hospitality. This is another new card we're getting in Team Up Supporter. You can only play if you have 4 or fewer cards in hand, not counting the Erica, of course. But then draw for the amount of Pokemon your opponent has in play. So here I'm in an interesting spot. I can... Okay, yeah, I found the Thunder Mount. I forgot about that. So that actually enables me to use Ampharos' second attack, which is normally 2 lightning energy, but it does 150, and you discard all energy attached to the Ampharos. So that's going to allow me to knock out that Charizard there. Now the only thing is, I think Haley probably actually has a return KO this turn, because she has the Rare Candy Charizard in hand. Ooh, that's actually really big too. She has the Shrine of Punishment as well to bump the Thunder Mountain. So that's definitely pretty bad for me here. So here she does have the Rare Candy Charizard. Yeah, like I said, definitely expected that to come down. We're going to see her get down a Fire Energy here. And all she has to do is use Charizard's ability, and she's going to be able to take a knockout with this thing. So here she has another Charmander in her hand. Looks like she's debating getting it down. I think it's fine to get it down. Not really much downside here. And here she starts to go for a Cynthia, but she's backpedaling. Okay, she's going to use Charizard's ability first. Okay, so that's definitely a good idea, because that's going to allow her to thin some extra cards out of her deck. That way she doesn't draw into those fire energies after this Cynthia. So yeah, she's going to get those down, and then we're probably just going to see that Cynthia for 6. Okay, so yeah, there's really not much else Haley really needs. Her deck is really just firing off on all cylinders here. And, you know, this feels pretty bad for this Ampharos deck. You know, Ampharos, this is actually a pretty good deck when you're not playing at stuff that can one-shot you. And Charizard, if it if this Ampharos has a slow start against Charizard and allows them to keep extra energy in play to always threaten the one-shot, then it's kind of in a bad spot. But this deck normally plays max potions, and maybe you'll see them at some point. I guess you can actually see I have one in hand right now. But if your opponent's not able to one-shot you, Ampharos is actually a really tanky Pokemon and can abuse max potions to kind of stay alive here. But unfortunately, that is not the case in this particular instance. So here Haley is going for an Ultra Ball. We'll have to see what she's going to get. Maybe a Pidgey if she has another Pidgeotto in deck. That seems good. Looks like she might be eyeing down Ditto. Okay, but she does commit to the Pidgey. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, even despite that glare there. I do apologize about that, guys. But yeah, she's definitely in a fantastic spot at this point. I honestly don't really know how she loses. The only way I think she would possibly lose is if she runs out of energy. But she's only going to be a GX knockout away, and she hasn't even used Energy Recycler, which is in this list. So I think she's just fine here. But here, before she retreats, she is going to use this Jirachi. And here you can really see how cool this Jirachi is, especially once you find a skateboard. Like after I knocked out her Charizard, she was able to promote this Jirachi that has free retreat thanks to a skateboard. And before she retreats into her attacker, she can make use of this ability and basically find a free card out of the top 5 cards of her deck. So here she's just going to grab an Ultra Ball. That will at least allow her to find a Pidgeotto on the next turn, or maybe a Charizard if I do have a way to knock this thing out. So here I'm actually thinking I may have misplayed on my previous turn. Like I didn't attach for turn. I think maybe I should have attached to the Mareep on the bench there. So that seems like it would have been a little bit better. But did I even have a Lightning in hand? I forget. Yeah, I did. So that feels pretty bad. So yeah, I think that might have been a little bit of a misplay on my part, guys. I think I may have gotten a little bit greedy with that Thunder Mountain because I knew Haley only plays the 2 stadiums in that list, and she already went through one of them. So I was basically thinking, Thunder Mountain will probably be in play for a turn. So I think I just got a little too greedy with my attachments. So, but yeah, I definitely should have gotten that energy down. Here I'm going to get down a Choice Band just to thin it out of my deck. And I'm going to Max Potion off the Lele. May as well. I feel like the Max Potions aren't going to be doing too much in this matchup, so may as well burn it. Just get it out of the deck and draw into some more important cards here. So yeah, I definitely think I messed up. Like I said, otherwise I would be able to get down another Lightning and actually take a knockout this turn. And here you can see I drew the Lightning, so definitely kind of kicking myself for that. But on the plus side, I can at least get Electropowers back. But the thing is, I'm not really putting on a good amount of damage here because Charizard's at, what? Actually, it's at 80 right now. So if I would have found Electropower, this actually would have been a pretty good turn because I could have done 60. And then basically set it up to where if Haley ever wanted to use this Charizard's ability, it would have to knock itself out. So here, instead of that, I'm actually just going to thin some cards out of my deck here. I'm going to get out Mareep, look like a Flaffy, couple Ninetales, Vulpix. So that's going to be the GX attack on Ampharos here. I don't have a supporter for next turn, so I really just want to make sure I can draw into something good on my next turn. Oh, I guess the Charizard only had 20. I guess that was just a different die that was sitting there. Kind of threw me off. Kind of looked like it was a 6 on there, but okay, yeah. If that's the case, I definitely like going for this play. Just thinning some cards out of my deck. The 30 damage was pretty insignificant, so I definitely like that. Haley, however, is going to go for that Energy Recycler, as I kind of mentioned before. That's going to allow her to get 5 basic energies from her discard pile back into her deck. So at this point, guys, if this was actually like a real tournament, I would have just scooped at this point. Like I said, I think running her out of energy would have been my only potential option to win this, and I just don't even think that I'm in a position to do something like that. So let's see what she's going to do here. She has Guzma. She has Ultra Ball. Alrighty, so she's going to Ultra Ball those away. Imagine we'll probably see a Pidgeotto. I think that's probably a safe bet at this point here. No point really going for Charizard. She already has 2 in play. And I see the other Pidgeotto in there, so if I'm her, that's definitely what I'm going for. That'll allow her to look at 2 more cards every turn with that ability. I believe it's called Airmail, if I'm not mistaken. So here, I'm just kind of checking, see what all she's used at this point. And here looks like she might be going for Charizard's ability. Okay. Now, thing is, she actually is in a spot where she could potentially win here. And I'm actually not sure how much I like going for Charizard's ability here, just because right now she has Guzma. She can bring up Lele and knock it out if she finds herself an energy. But the issue is she just thinned 2 energies out of her deck, and she can use that ability at really any time during a turn. So I think I would have liked to have seen her use the Pidgeotos and Jirachi first, and then because she would have a better chance of actually finding the fire energy, and then afterwards she can use the ability to find the remaining ones. But here she seems pretty confident she's going to hit what she needs. She's going to Guzma up this Lele, and she gets to promote this Jirachi at the same time, which is really nice. So here she's going to go for a Pidgeotto, and she does find the choice band she needs here. So Charizard is going to be able to do 160 damage, and then she can just knock it out, since the 1 damage counter is already on the Tapu Lele from the Shrine of Punishment. So Charizard took a pretty convincing game 1 here. We are going to play a best 2 out of 3 series, so I definitely will have a shot to bring it back here. But pretty bad start on my end. I also think, like I said, not knocking out that Charizard, or I'm sorry, not getting down that extra lightning energy on that turn was definitely a misstep on my part as well. So maybe I can play a little bit better, but just a really rough start, and Hilly being able to, being allowed enough time to get down extra attachments really kept my deck from ever, being able to take a hit against Charizard here. So if I can have a little bit of a better start here and just start to put on some early pressure and start knocking things out, she might not be able to have, like I said, that extra turn to keep a basic fire energy down. Because if she has a Charizard that she powers up in 1 turn, at max she's doing 210, or with Shrine of Punishment she'll be at 220. So like I said, it's just so important being able to get down that extra fire energy. So here it looks like she's going to be starting a Pidgey, so I'm definitely happy about that. She doesn't have that great Jirachi start she had last time. And unfortunately my hand is not the best, just going to have to go for a Cynthia. I have a Thunder Mountain I could play down, but I really want to make sure I have a counter stadium whenever she gets down her Shrine of Punishment. Or at the very least want to save it for when I want to attack. So here really just need to find a supporter and another basic if possible. Okay, so that's good. I do find myself a Mareep, and this is actually a pretty workable hand. It's not ideal. I would have preferred, obviously, to get the turn 1 Elm, but I still think I'm in a decent spot to take a knockout on the next turn. So here I'm just debating, do I retreat this Ditto? Just debating, because if I retreat in a Mareep, it actually has an ability that can put your opponent's active to sleep, but I think it's worth it just keeping the Ditto for right now. I don't think the sleep's going to matter too much in this instance. But Haley she top deck a Jirachi, so that actually could have mattered a little bit here. But either way, she opened with the Professor Elm's Lecture, so if she was going to retreat into Jirachi, that's what she would have wanted anyways, and she already had it, so I guess it wasn't that impactful. So of course she's going to search out 3 basic Pokemon. We'll have to see what she's going to get. I'd imagine 2 Charmanders, and then either another Pidgey or a Pidgeotto would be my guess. Here it looks like she's debating on the 3rd spot here. I think I saw a Charmander in her deck, so I'd imagine that's what we're going to see. I think it was towards the front, if I saw correctly. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like that is what she is going to decide on here. I almost kind of would like to see another Pidgey instead of the Pidgeotto, depending on what her hand looks like. Just because if I retreat and knock out this Pidgey, she's not going to have a way to actually make use of that ability. So we'll have to see. Maybe she has something in hand I don't know about. If she has a draw supporter, I think it's fine just keeping. Okay, so she's going to retreat and put up Jirachi. Okay, so if she's going to retreat, I think that's also pretty valid here as well. So she's going to use that ability, put himself to sleep, and look at the top 5 and get a Pokemon, or not Pokemon, but a trainer card. Going to find that Heat Factor. Like I said, glad I did not put down that Thunder Mountain on my previous turn. Otherwise, that thing would be long gone. Does she have a fire energy? She does not, so she won't be able to make use of the Heat Factory, but that's okay. Still a pretty decent turn on her part, and she is going to wake up from the sleep. Okay, and I do top deck a Mareep. That's actually pretty good here as well. So here I'm going to use Timer Ball. Going to try to get out a low and 9 tails to grab myself. Ugh, that is terrible. Double tails. I feel like my luck is just not that good so far in this matchup. So here I'm going to get down a Lightning on this Mareep and just try to think, what do I do? I could hang on to the Lightning and Ultra Ball it away before playing this Lily, and it looks like that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Okay, but I do commit to the Lily here. Alright, and now I can use this Ultra Ball, grab myself a Ninetales to get rare candy and start attacking, but the only issue with that is that I'm not even taking a knockout on this Jirachi, which feels pretty bad. So I'm going to retreat, then evolve into Ninetales, just because that Ninetales does have a 2 retreat cost. Really need to make sure I did not evolve too early there. Here, just going to go for a rare candy and Electropower, it appears. Just trying to take a look, see if there's anything else I might want instead. That seems pretty good. So I can at the very least get this Electropower back this turn, even though I'm not even though I'm not knocking out the Jirachi, I can at least soften up and do some damage. But oh yeah, and I forgot I did have another one in the discard pile, so that's actually kind of worth it, I guess. I think another consideration would have been maybe going for the GX attack on Ampharos. I think that could have been a consideration as well. But since I already have the Electropower in there, I think there's potentially a reason to go for the attack instead, or the damaging attack instead, I should say. So we'll have to see what is Hilly going to do here. She did not get down an attachment on her Charmander last turn, and that's pretty big. Like I kind of said, keeping that extra attachment in play at all times is going to be what really allows her to do a lot of damage to my deck and set up those big one-hit knockouts. But here, she's kind of debating, does she want to go for Pidgeotto? Does she want to go for Jirachi? What is she really looking for here? I'd imagine probably an energy. Okay, she's going to go for the Pidgeotto first. So if she doesn't have a fire energy in hand, I think there's a consideration for the fire energy. I kind of like that. Okay, but it looks like she's actually going to keep the Erica's Hospitality. Okay. So that's still a pretty decent card here as well. And then she still has Jirachi's ability at her disposal as well. And here she's kind of debating, does she want to get down that Heat Factory, or does she want to get down the Shrine of Punishment? What does she want to do here? Okay, so she's going to get down the Shrine of Punishment. I actually really like that. Really important card at setting up those one-hit knockouts. And I guess she's just going to go for Erica. She could go for Elm. I think that's honestly fine too. But if she wants to do this, I don't blame her. She wants to get down energy. And she did find some energy. That's definitely good. So let's see what she's going to do. She's going to go for Jirachi. Did she already go for Jirachi? I forget. Or maybe it was Pidgeotto she went for. I guess that's what it was. I forget already. But here she is going to go for an Ultra Ball. So this will at least allow her to evolve into Charizard this turn. She can probably discard Charmeleon. That seems good. Looks like she's a little bit torn what she wants to get rid of. I think the Charmeleon's fine. You don't have another Charmander to evolve into this turn anyways, just because this one that's on the bench is just going to become a Charizard anyways. Okay, so she is going to get that down. And she's debating, does she actually attach to him? That's the question. And I think she does here, just because she does want to... Or, well, she could even attach to Charmeleon and use the ability on Charizard. Yeah, it looks like that's actually kind of what she might be eyeing down here. The reason I was going to say, if she gets down the energy on Charmeleon, she can use Charizard's ability, getting 2 energy in play, and then next turn, all she has to do is use the ability again to get 2 more energy in play. And this way, if I have a Guzma and have a way to knock out this Charizard, there is still at least going to be 1 energy in play left on the Charmeleon. So I definitely like this play from her here. So even though this wasn't her most explosive turn, definitely still fine. She found herself the Pidgeotto, Charmeleon, Charizard, Shrine of Punishment. Still plenty of good things happening here for her. And so we're probably just going to see a pass after that. That Shrine of Punishment is going to get down some damage counters here. And here I do have to bench a Lele, just trying to think what I want to do. And here she's going to flip for sleep in. She's going to wake up. So I don't have a draw support, so it looks like I might be thinking about going for Lily. I think that's fine. I have a Ampharos in hand, if I saw correctly, so I think that's why I'm going for the Lily as opposed to the Cynthia, because that will allow me to maybe keep this combo piece in my hand. And, well, I didn't find the rare candy, but I liked going for Lily there because that way I only need to hit 1 piece of my combo to get out another Ampharos, as opposed to 2 if I just played Cynthia. So, yeah, not the best turn, but nevertheless, got to take a knockout on this Jirachi. Unfortunately, though, this Charizard is about to just turn me into dust. Yeah, I'm about to get destroyed by this thing, it appears. So I have to see what Haley is going to do. Like I said, she can just... I think actually she has... Oh, she's actually in a good spot. She actually doesn't even need 2 energy. She can even just attach 1 energy. Okay, she's going to bump Shrine of Punishment. I'm actually not sure if I like that as much now. Okay, well the reason I was going to say I kind of like the idea of keeping Shrine in play is because she could have done a play where if she just attached Choice Band and 1 energy, she could have taken a knockout. But this is now forcing her to have 2 energy. It's not that big a deal because Charizard can find both of them, but... Well, actually, this is probably fine too because it allows her to still get down energy somewhere else. But the only thing she might run into is if she has a way to knock me out, and then I have a way to knock out Charmeleon on her turn, and she doesn't find Charizard, then she could actually potentially be in a bad spot if she attaches this energy. Okay, so she's going to get down Choice Band and the Fire Energy. Okay, so if I have a way to knock this thing out, I'm going to be in a really good spot. And here she's just going to play a Cynthia, it appears. Okay. So she's definitely going to be looking for a Charizard to evolve into, because that Charmeleon right now is definitely in danger of being knocked out. Because if I can keep eliminating, like even though she can take a 1-hit knockout on me, if I can eliminate her energy in play before she gets to use it, that can actually be pretty good. I could potentially run into a situation where I can try to run her out of energy or something like that. So that's kind of my backup strategy in all these games here. If I'm not winning the exchange as far as knockouts goes, I do have kind of an alternate win condition. And she does not find herself a Charizard, so if I have a way to pull that off, that would actually be pretty big here. I'm not sure if I do, though. That's the only thing. Yeah, I don't even think I have the cards in hand to do something like that. But here I'm just going to... Just debating if I want to get down extra energy on this Mareep. So the reason why I'm doing this, because you might be thinking, well, why not just take the knockout on Charizard? The reason I'm doing this is because I can play Cynthia. If I find Rare Candy Ampharos, I can actually do 90, which is a really good number here because that's going to put her at 130. And Charizard has 150 HP, so it puts her in a spot where if she wants to get out of the active with this thing, she's going to have to knock out her own Charizard. So let's see. Do you have Max Potion in hand? I could consider using that. Gonna play an Ultra Ball. I don't know if I have a rare candy. Oh, but I do have Flaffy. I forgot about that. Flaffy actually can do the same thing here. It's a little bit annoying because Flaffy can't get back your Electropowers, but I do have this play at my disposal if I'm going to choose to do something like that. So I'm going to get out the Flappy. Its first attack just does 30 for 1 lightning, which is, I guess, fine. It's really all I need to do here. And that's still going to allow me to put this Charizard at 130. But here, I'm going to use Mareep's ability real quick before I evolve. So Mareep has the ability, when it's your active, you get to leave your opponent's active asleep. So potentially, between both of these things, it can buy me a turn and, maybe have this Mareep be safe here. So one thing that is going against me though, if Haley has, I was literally going to say if she has a skateboard and a fire energy, she can actually just retreat this thing and then knock out this Flappy with Charizard. So we'll have to see what she's going to do here. It looks like she's thinking about going for the energy recycler. So if I'm her, I'm attaching, throwing down the skateboard on this Charizard as well, and then probably just going to retreat and use a Cynthia. She looks a little bit conflicted here. She definitely has some options because she could also use Pidgeotto, but again, I would probably save Pidgeotto's ability for after she plays a draw supporter here. And I forget what we're talking about. Oh yeah, we're flipping for Charizard Sleep, and it does remain asleep, so that is pretty good, I suppose, here. But like I said, that escape board's going to allow her to retreat either way, so it just depends on what she's going to do. So she's going to get down in energy, it looks like. So So she's definitely a little conflicted, as you can tell. She's getting down the energy on Charmander, so this tells me she's actually going to knock herself out in order to be able to take a knockout here. So if that's the case, maybe she does go for the energy recycler. Let's see. Yeah, she has enough energy in the discard pile to make use of it. So if she wants to do that, that's totally fine here. Okay, so she is going to finally commit to it. And that way if she finds... Okay, here she's going to go for the Cynthia. So if she is going to knock herself out, I'm just trying to think... Would she? No, I guess she would wait in Cynthia first. I was thinking, should she knock herself out before playing the Cynthia? Actually, you know what she can do? She can knock herself out and... Well, no, either way, she still needs to find another Charizard first before committing to a play like that. So this is fine, I think. So let's see. No Charizard, I don't believe. So she's really going to be reliant on this Pidgeotto this turn. To maybe find... Oh, she does have Heat Factory as well. I did forget about that. So we are going to see that. Drawing 3 more cards. Okay, finding herself a Jirachi, also good to get down. And like I said, she still has Pidgeotto at her disposal. Yeah, she really needs to use it. I don't know if she's forgotten about it just yet, but that's definitely what she needs to do this turn if she's trying to find a Charizard. Because otherwise, if she just leaves this Charmeleon here, she does kind of run the risk of it being knocked out. Yeah, she definitely seems a little bit conflicted, but again, she has Pidgeotto. She needs to just go ahead and use that. Okay, so that is what she's going to decide to do here. And those don't look like Charizards, so might just have a turn where Haley is taking a turn off from... Well, actually, no, she's still... What she can do is, since she found Jirachi, she actually has a play at her disposal where if she knocks out her Charizard, she can actually promote Jirachi and then try to use Jirachi to dig for an Ultra Ball. So it looks like what she is going to do here. So she is going to promote that Jirachi, and she needs a Skateboard and a Charizard. At the very least, she needs Charizard just to try to protect this Charmeleon. I'm not sure what she's looking at in her hand. She really has nothing else. Okay, so she is going to just go for the Jirachi here, and she does find a Skateboard, but we don't see an Ultra Ball. So yeah, I think she's going to be without a Charizard this turn, which is definitely pretty big for me. Definitely a big sigh of relief there for Ampharos. Ampharos has been struggling a little bit in this series, so definitely will take any breaks I can get here. So I don't know what else she's doing. She already attached a Charmander here. She just has to pass here, it looks like. I'm not sure what we're really discussing here. Like I said, because she literally can't do anything else on her turn, so okay. And actually top deck Ampharos, I believe that is. Or no, that might have been in my hand before, I forget. But here I have Erica, so I can actually play that, draw just a solid 5 cards here if I choose to do that. Kind of wish I had a Guzma. I would love to actually knock out this Charmeleon, but unfortunately I don't have a play like that at my disposal. Just going to go for the Erica, draw some more cards here. It's actually a pretty good hand to get. I have Ampharos, so I could evolve into that, get my Electropowers back, but the only thing is, if I evolve into this Ampharos, I'm pretty sure that Haley is going to be able to knock it out. That's really what I'm kind of worried about here. And I'm not even knocking out Jirachi if I do that, so I think I just have to kind of sit on this hand. I can do 30 damage. And here, just taking a peek through my discard pile. I guess just trying to figure out if I do want to evolve into Ampharos. If I remember correctly, I do not end up doing it here. Because I have one Electropower, that would only do 60 damage, and that just doesn't feel that great. So here, I think I just have to attack for 30 and make her burn some energy to just take one prize. Because if I can put her on odd prizes, that's going to be a big help for this deck. Like I said, my only hope really is that maybe run her out of energy if I can't catch up in the prize race at some point. So here she does find Charizard. And like I said, really happy I did not evolve into Ampharos, because I assume between Jirachi, the Pidgeotto, whatever support she had for turn, she'd be able to find Charizard. And then I just would have lost 2 prizes there. So I'd much rather lose this. If I'm not knocking out this Jirachi, I'd rather lose the Flaffy as opposed to the Ampharos here. So Haley is going to, it looks like, use Charizard's ability. Okay. So it looks like she might be eyeing down knocking out Ninetales. And if that's the case, I'm actually not a really big fan of this play, because she can take a free knockout on either of these bench GXs here. And Lele requires 1 less energy. I think that would be a lot better. And then also having the energy on Charmander too kind of opens her up to where if she burns 4 energy to knock out this Ninetales and I have a way to Guzma up that Charmander and eliminate 2 more energy, that's basically half the energy in her deck that hits the discard pile in 1 turn. So she definitely has to be careful here about how much energy she has gone through. So she's going to find a rare candy. So let's see. No doubt she's going to be looking for a Charizard here to maybe make that Charmander a little bit more safe. That way I can't quite as easily knock it out. So it looks like she's going to go for Pidgeotto's ability here. Unfortunately, neither of those is a Charmander. I'm sorry, Charizard. And she's going to use Heat Factor, so that's another energy down. I'm fine with that. So here she has Rescue Stretcher. It looks like she's going to be going for that. Just going to get that Charizard right back to her hand here. Okay, she does have the rare candy for it as well. So what I would like to see actually is, okay. So what she could do is also Guzma up Lele with this fresh Charizard that she has and attach one of the choice bands in her hand. Oh, but here she's going to use Charizard's ability, getting more energy in play. So I know I have Guzma. I'm thinking at this point, hey, if I have a way to knock this out, that's what we are doing. We're knocking out this Charizard with all of the energy, because that would be effectively 9 energy hitting the discard pile between the Heat Factory, the attack for turn, and the Charizards that are in play right now. So let's see. Yeah, she is going to go for it, knocking out the Ninetales. Like I said, I think knocking out Lele would have been better here. They're both kind of worthless bench sitters, but the Lele is actually probably better because it has the energy. And okay, that's actually literally a godlike top deck, because now I can get down that lightning energy, bring up this Charizard. Here you can see I knew exactly what I wanted to do this turn. I just needed that lightning energy. And we're going to do 150, knocking out this Charizard here. And I have to say, I actually feel pretty good. Even though Haley is ahead on prizes, this is kind of what I was talking about, where if I can catch her in a weird turn where she's gone through a bunch of energy or take out a lot of her remaining energy in play, it really sets up this deck to make a potential comeback here. So me, I'm just counting all of her energy, and I think she literally has 1 left, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, here you can see she's double checking all of that. And I believe I counted 11, and this list only plays 12. So if that's the case, she actually doesn't have a way to win here. She would need at least 1 more energy to be able to Guzma KO this Lele. So yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, if she has an energy in deck, she just wins though, because she can just bring up Lele. But that's going to be it. Yeah, that was the last of her energy. She was literally 1 energy away from winning there. And as a result, I'm going to take game 2. So yeah, I think she may have overcommitted her energy a little bit too much there. Kind of came back to bite her there. I think she definitely could have won that one. She just got, I think, a little too greedy with all of those fire energy attachments there. Because you have to remember with this Charizard, you can get those energies at any time whenever you want them. So as long as you get down 1 or maybe even 2 beforehand, you can always wait till you're ready to attack to search out the other ones. So you're going on to game 3. Haley, of course, I'm sure is going to want to go first, and she did lose game 2 here. And I finally have Professor Elm's lecture in hand after all of these games. It took me a while, but as you could see in those other ones, I was always kind of forced into awkward first turn plays. But here we have a draw supporter and Professor Elm's lecture, so at the very least, it looks like I'm going to have a pretty good first two turns lined up with this deck. And it looks like Haley is starting 2 Charmanders, if I see correctly. So unfortunately for her, she did not get to start with the Jirachi that we saw, put in a lot of work over the past 2 games. But here she does still find the turn 1 Professor Elm's lecture, even without starting the Jirachi. So that's got to be good for her. Here she can go, since she actually started 2 Charmanders, she can even go like Pidgey, Pidgeotto. That seems pretty good if she wants to do that. Let's see. Okay, it looks like she is going to go for that. That seems pretty good for me. She could have, of course, gone for another Charmander if she really wanted to, but you only really need 2 in this situation. I have no chance of taking a knockout on the first turn with this deck. So both of her Charmanders should be safe here. It looks like she might be going for Ditto, so if that's the case, I think that's what she's going for. Okay, it looks like she accidentally grabbed an extra Pokemon, so it looks like she's going to go for Ditto, Pidgeotto. I guess that seems okay. I think I would rather have seen the Ditto be a Pidgey. That seems just a little bit better to me, just because, like I said, I'm not threatening anything on these Charmanders. And I'd much rather save the Ditto for the late game, potentially. Here you can see she accidentally tried to bench the Pidgeotto there. But yeah, she's going to have a good turn set up for next turn. Yeah, she has both Pidgeottos in hand, actually, as well. And here, unfortunately, her next turn doesn't look that great. Oh, and here, I think she realized, wait, I have both Pidgeottos. I need to just get 2 Pidgeys. So that's going to be good. She doesn't have a draw supporter in hand, so that's really going to save her. But here, right away, I'm going to use that ability on Meredith to put this Charmander to sleep. It's probably not going to be too big of a deal here, because just evolving into Charizard will keep that, will remove that status condition. But here, like I said on my turn, I'm going for that Professor Elm's lecture. Kind of missed it those past 2 games, but here we finally were able to find it. And so what I can do here, if I have a Lightning Energy, I could even retreat into this Vulpix, use Beacon if I choose to. Here I'm just kind of taking a peek, checking, how many Electropowers are in the deck versus the prizes, how many Ninetales are in there, etc., etc. So let's see, no Lightning Energy, but that's okay. We still have a pretty good hand ready to go on the next turn, and then just pass over to Haley. And she's going to flip tail, so I'm definitely happy about that there. So she's going to get both Pidgeottos down. Now she could go for, like, if she's conceding the attack this turn, she could go for an Elm and just try to set up her board a lot better. But here she's going to go for, she's going to find herself an Ultra Ball. That's a good start. She does have Rare Candy in hand, so that's actually pretty good. But here she is going to go for the other Pidgeotto, and she finds a Cynthia. That's pretty big. So I think I would have maybe rather have seen her actually get out the Charizard first, because she could have played it, thinned energy out of her deck, and then increase her odds of hitting a supporter. It still kind of worked out, but it's just, it's important, guys, to get your sequencing right. And that's actually something that is a little bit of a challenge with this deck, in my experience with it. There's a lot of different decisions that you can make in terms of the order of them. What do you do first? Do you use Charizard's ability? Do you use Pidgeotto first? Do you use Jirachi first? So there are a lot of chances to potentially mess up your sequencing. So it's expected to happen. And also, too, guys, in this testing round series, these are usually kind of our first or second times usually playing with the deck, so there might be some misplays along the way. Just something to keep in mind as we do go through these testing rounds videos. But here Haley is going to get this Charizard set up and find a Cynthia. So even though she didn't have a supporter or a Charizard in hand, her turn is quickly bouncing back thanks to those Pidgeottos she has. So I'm not really sure what else she really wants. Maybe a Charmeleon or another Charizard? Oh, she does find Jirachi, so that's going to be great as well. Really not too much else from there. She does have a Fire Energy in hand. She's going to get that down on Charmander. And what's unfortunate is that I don't have a Lightning Energy. If I draw Lightning Energy off my top deck, I think I definitely want to go for Guzma here. But I'm just not sure if my odds are strong enough to actually do that. So yeah, I'm going to go for just promote the Mareep. I didn't top deck the Lightning Energy, so I feel better about this. I was thinking about keeping Mareep on bench because then I could Guzma knock out Charmander, but Here I'm going to Ultra Ball away Guzma and Max Potion. We saw Max Potion has not been the most useful card in this matchup, so we're definitely going to get rid of those. Evolve into Ampharos, and maybe try to start putting on some pressure of our own here. We have an Electropower. We have Erica, so we can draw 5 cards. And so I find a little Ninetales, and I remember I didn't realize it until I had already searched out my items, but I actually did not draw a Lightning Energy. So I actually can't even attack this turn. I was so excited. I was like, oh, this is awesome. We're going to go for Ninetales here, grab 2 Electropowers, and, do a ton of damage to this Charizard, ensure that she can't, do anything back to us without knocking out this Charizard with its ability. But whiffing the Lightning Energy here is just so bad. And here you can see, I finally realized, wait, I didn't draw the Lightning Energy I needed, so yeah, we're in a bad spot. That's actually a really, really big whiff here, because like I said, if I were able to actually attack, I could set up this Charizard to where it can, like I said, it has to knock itself out if it wants to get out of the active spot. So this kind of changes things here. I mean, I guess I can still go for the Electropower, just save it for next turn. And just going to go for an Ultra Ball, I suppose. So I think I have Flaffy in hand, so I can at least get that down too if I want to. Just going to Ultra Ball away Choice Band, pretty worthless card here. And maybe even Volkner. So they're going to do that, maybe find another Vulpix. That seems kind of good, we could do that. Okay, going to go for the Reap, I think that's fine too. Not really worried about too much either way. Maybe Vulpix actually would have been a little bit better because we have the Flappy to evolve this Ditto. Or maybe I have a Ninetales prize, that could have been something. That could have been a reason I opted for the Reap. I didn't get a good look there. But, here I'm just debating, do I evolve this Ditto? And it looks like I am. So that seems fine. Yeah, unfortunately what isn't fun, like I said, whiffing the energy, it's a really, really big whiff here. And we'll have to see how Haley is going to be able to respond. If she can capitalize on this, that would be definitely something she is looking forward to doing. And she does have Guzma, so she actually could potentially take a knockout on something without having to, use energy on this Charizard. One thing that is pretty big too is she did flip Tails on the Sleep Flip. So this Charizard actually can't power itself up and attack me anyways without retreating or, with the aid of something like a Guzma. So let's see what Haley is going to do here. She's debating what card she wants to grab. I think that's a Choice Band she found there. Oh, it's actually going to be a Skateboard. That's even better. So what she can do here, of course, is she can Guzma up maybe this Flaffy or even the Ninetales. If she has a way to get Candy Charizard, then going for Ninetales seems pretty good. Actually, wouldn't mind seeing that because she still has Jirachi and a Pidgeotto, I think, at her disposal. But it looks like she's going to go for the Flappy here, just kind of playing it safe. But she still very well could hit what she needs. She already has the Rare Candy in hand, so if she does find the way to get Charizard out, that would actually be pretty big. So she's going to go for that Jirachi there. She's fine. Heat Factory, that could be good. Okay, so she's going to go for that. But even if she just knocks out this Flappy, I think that's perfectly fine too. So she already did take one knockout. Knocking out this Flappy is going to put her back on even prizes. So this is, I think, a perfectly acceptable turn. So yeah, she can just retreat back into this Charizard thanks to that Skateboard and take a knockout here. She does have one more Pidgeotto at her disposal, so we could see that come down as well. Again, probably just looking, trying to find a Charizard. Or an Ultra Ball, of course, to find Charizard. Nothing there, unfortunately. There is an Erica there. She could grab that. I think that's a consideration. Since she doesn't have a draw supporter. She has the Heat Factory, and of course the 2 Pidgeottos. But she already has a Fire Energy as well, so I think I would like to see her go for the Erica in this situation. Okay, that looks like what she's going to do. She's going to put that Fire Energy at the bottom of her deck. Going to get down Heat Factory. Going to use it. Draw 3 more cards. And no sign of a Charizard or anything like that. So that's not what she really wants to see. If that's the case, I'd like to see her get down Charmander, and that is what she's going to do. So I definitely like that play from Haley, kind of hedging against me, potentially having a Guzma to, you know, take out this Charmander. Because I think that's usually a decent strategy against this Charizard deck is they're going to burn their energy to knock you out. Then if you can Guzma and knock out something that already has energy on it, you can really make them kind of run through their energy a bit quicker than they might want to otherwise. So here I am going to get down Electropower, and I really need to find an energy this turn. I was kind of thinking about going for the Lily. I had a rare candy in hand, could maybe set up another Ampharos, but I think it's a lot more important that I actually get energy this turn. And here I may have forgotten to have used Mareep's ability. If that's the case, that is kind of unfortunate. But here I'm just going to use Ampharos' attack. I only found a single Electropower off of that Cynthia, which is kind of annoying. If I had another one, I could have actually set up this Charizard again at the point where if she used her ability, she would have to knock herself out. So, you know, kind of a series of unfortunate whiffs with this Ampharos deck in this match. You know, had a pretty good first turn, and even the second turn started off really good, but whiffing that energy again was just a big kind of tempo shift. And here Haley is going for Energy Recycler, but it looks like she might be debating if she actually wants to commit to using it first. Because she might be thinking, well, yeah, she's going to keep that first. So that tells me she's probably wanting to use Pidgeotto or something like that to try to hit a Charizard. So let's see what route she's going to go here. I mean, she has a bunch of cards in hand, but I really don't know what she can do with all that. I think she's going to go for Pidgeotto here. Yeah, so it looks like what she's going to do. She's going to get down that counter there to signify that. And I couldn't tell if she found a Charizard or not. I saw Charmeleon. Okay, so she must have found the Charizard there. So she has 3 Charizards in play. This feels pretty bad. I definitely am in a bad spot. And here she's going to use that second Pidgeotto, grabbing a Choice Band, it appears. So one thing she could do if she had a way to retreat this Charizard, that would actually be ideal. Because right now she's in a weird spot where she actually can't take a knockout on this Ampharos with this active Charizard. So here she is going to go for Energy Recycler, it looks like. Okay. So curious what route she's going to go here. We're probably just going to see maybe a Choice Band come down and a Cynthia. Okay. So I guess she's opting to save the Choice Band here. But okay, so she is going to go for the ability. Well, actually what she can do is, I forgot, she can actually use the ability and then use the ability on the Charizard with 2 energy on the bench and power that thing up and actually be ready to go to take a knockout. Or actually, she would still need a Choice Band, I believe it is, because if she powers up the other Charizard, she would need either an attachment for turn and the ability, or the ability plus Choice Band. And we saw she had Choice Band in her hand, so I think she just wasn't aware of the play at this point. Otherwise, I definitely think she should have gotten down that Choice Band. I mean, granted, she could potentially still find it off this Cynthia for 6, but I'm just not sure if that's what's going to happen. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't see the Choice Band, but she still has a way to take a knockout. Like I said, she can use Charizard's ability to search out 2 energy cards and then attach 1 more from her hand as well. So that definitely feels pretty bad. Now, one way I could potentially capitalize on this is if, like, on my next turn I find Rare Candy, Ampharos, Energy Thunder Mountain, and can just knock out that Charizard. That would feel, I think, pretty good. That'd be a nice way to kind of come back. But even still, she's in a pretty decent spot, I think, here. So let's see what she's going to do. Not sure what she's thinking about. Probably thinking if she wants to Ultra Ball. Okay, she's going to use Heat Factory, so I'm definitely fine with that. The more energy hits the discard, the better. We saw I was able to kind of capitalize on that in the late game of Game 2. So I'm kind of thinking, well, she's getting ahead pretty quickly. Maybe I can make something like that happen again. Okay, so she is going to get down that fire energy there. Okay, so we're going to see her bring up this mammoth Charizard with like 5 energy and just blow away this Ampharos. So, like I said earlier, guys, this Ampharos deck normally is pretty decent when you're playing it stuff that is forced to two-shot you, because like I said, you have the max potions that you can use every turn. You have the Electropowers that you can keep cycling back over and over. So here I'm going to get down a Vulpix, going to use Mareep's ability, put this Charizard to sleep at the very least. Looks like I'm going to use both Electropowers and then go for a Cynthia. So really trying to hit that rare candy Ampharos here. But even if I do that, I still don't feel that good about my current spot. I'm really just a Guzma away from losing at this point. So I am going to find an Ultra Ball that will allow me to get out my Ampharos this turn. Definitely getting rid of the Mareep. Definitely don't need that since I'm just going to evolve right away. And I don't even think I can set up another Ampharos at this point. I just lose if one GX goes down. So this last Ampharos is probably going to be the only one I'm going to use going forward. So we're going to do that, and then I can use Ampharos' attack to get back these 2 Electropowers. So I believe I'm going to be hitting for 90 yet again. Kind of an awkward amount of damage. If I would have just hit one more Electropower, I would have been in a spot where, again, you know, one ability on this Charizard would have knocked it out. So we'll have to see what Haley's going to do. No doubt she's going to be looking for, like, Energy Guzma Choice Band. Here she's going to flip. She is going to flip Tails, I think it was. For the Sleep Flip, that is definitely fine by me. That's going to force her to have a Guzma or like an Escape Board or something like that, plus an energy attachment. And if that's the case, she actually wouldn't be able to take a knockout on this active Ampharos. I think definitely her game plan this turn is to look for Guzma here. So she has the energy in hand that she can use to get down on Charizard. She has Choice Band. All she needs is to do is find a Guzma. And here it looks like she is going to... She tapped that Charizard, so she's probably about to use his ability, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's what it appears. She's going to get those 2 damage counters down, and then we're going to see her attach 2 fire energy. And I think that's the last of her energy, and she has 1 in hand, so she needs to be careful not to actually use that with this Heat Factory Prism Star. That would actually be pretty bad in this situation. So we'll see that. Thinning out some of those cards out of her deck. We see some Ultra Balls in her hand as well. So we might see her even try to thin some of those out. Oh, but she does have the Guzma, and I'm pretty sure she has Choice Band in hand. I thought she did. Or no, she had Choice Band prior to the Cynthia before on the previous turn. That's what it was. So here we're going to see her use Ultra Ball, so no doubt just trying to thin cards out of her deck here to ensure that she can hit whatever she needs to close out this game. And I'm pretty sure she has 2 Choice Bands left. Or no, I think it's actually all 3, so... And yeah, we see all of them in the deck. Between the 2 Pidgeotos, the Jirachi, she's going to have plenty of ways to actually find these things. So between the 2 Pidgeotos and the Jirachi, she effectively gets to look at 9 cards of her deck. There's no way I feel like she doesn't hit that. So we're going to see, yep, and she finds the Choice Band off of the second Pidgeotto there. So Haley is going to be able to Guzma up, of course, this Ninetales and take the last knockout with Charizard here. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this match here between Charizard and Ampharos GX. Of course, if you guys are looking for the deck profiles for both these decks, they will be posted in the coming days, and I will have links down below in the description whenever they go live, so definitely check back for those, and stay tuned to the channel in general as we have a ton of team-up content coming up over the next several weeks. But if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and consider supporting this channel by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or by picking up some merch from our online store, rarecandytcg.com. Like the playmats you saw in this video, it would mean a lot. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.